Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Ohio Guys here. My name is Christian Ocampo, and today I'm joined by another special guest here today. We have Monét Lerner here today.
Woo,
Hi, Monét.
hi guys! I'm so excited to be here. Thanks, Christian, for having me on.
I'm happy to have you here, and I'm very excited that we finally got this going after a while planning. So I'm very happy.
Yes, me
very
too.
happy to.
There was an ice apocalypse here in Dallas. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, we've had a lot of extreme weather going on in the last month or two. So I'm happy we got to work around that. So now we can make this interview happen.
Yes, I'm very excited.
All right, Monét. So our first question, gotta ask, what is like working in the industry today?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I started in the anime voiceover world in 2022. So I started in April of 2022. Love After World Domination was my first show. Jade Saxton brought me in, and I was so ecstatic because I have just so much high respect for Funimation and Crunchyroll, and I have always dreamt of working there. So Jade Saxton brought me in. I got to play a really cool cat, and it was a mental role, and so that means that I didn't have to match any voice flaps. And so it was a great first introductory role for me so that I could get used to the way that Crunchyroll works and recording in that environment. And then Jonathan Rigg brought me in for my second role, which was Lulane in The Fruit of Evolution, which season 2 is just coming out. It's awesome. And that was my first character that I matched flaps with. And he was just so awesome working with me. And I grew up loving cartoons, and I grew up watching all sorts of things. I watched Pokemon Indigo League. That was like my anime what I watched. And then I also in my older age, before I was hired by Crunchyroll, I watched Parasite Maxim, and I loved that anime. But to me, it was a new world in April. So I have just been so ecstatic and blessed and super grateful for the opportunity to enter into this industry. And I'm just having so much fun. So much fun. So I think it's a blast to work in the industry today. There's not one time that I go to the studio that I'm like, oh man, I'm always just so excited to be able to bring these characters to life and breathe life into them and be able to experience their thoughts and deepest desires and get to know them, and then, kind of just voice them with no abandon or with abandon and just get into it. It's just so much fun. So, yeah. And I realized what's crazy is that we're talking, it's February, and I realized, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have been with Crunchyroll for a year in April. I was like, wow, the time has flown by so fast. So I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it.
You've had a very productive year of 2022, being part of so many amazing titles and still learning the ropes of the industry and getting a feel for all these different genres you got to be part of, whether it be more like action, fantasy, so on and so forth. It's great that you've really kind of accumulated some good shows under your belt within a 1-year mark. So you've been chugging on.
Yes, and I can't tell you how grateful I am. I'm just, so grateful.
Yeah, and again, just going back what you said with Crunchyroll and Funimation, 2 companies that have given you work and just getting you more booth time, getting to work with different directors, be part of different shows from the different libraries that come your way. Yes. So a lot of great experience for you, just learning and picking up the shows that you get to be part of the cast. And we still have a whole new season to look forward to come the rest of 2023.
We sure do. We sure do. And I mean, yeah, it's been awesome so far. We did have a slight delay of episode releases because of the ice storm. So, but I'm really looking forward to this season of Fruit of Evolution. I think it's going to be awesome. And then also the Iceblade Sorcerer I am so excited for that show. I mean, it is awesome.
Right on.
Yeah. And all of the other shows too that are coming out this season that, everybody else is working on. Just it's a good season. But yeah.
And to kind of go back to 2022, just working on these shows, during your time working in the industry, what is your favorite show you got to work on so far?
Okay, so the first show that I ever worked on was Love After World Domination. And I played Helko, which was Desumi's cat. And I love Helko. She is just so sassy and just so straight up, and she's so protective of her owner. I'd like to think that my cat thinks that way about me too, So yeah, that character was just a blast to play, and really get used to the system, how everything works. And I've been studying VO for a really long time. I grew up in California, and so when I was younger, I took a lot of classes. I've wanted to be an actor for pretty much my whole life since I was 10 years old. And then I took a hiatus. I worked a little bit, some normal jobs, waitressing, bartending, those kinds of service jobs, to make some money so I could afford to live on my own. And then, so I mean, I commercial voiceover and anime voice acting are two completely different things. And that's what makes the voiceover world so amazing and so just, I want to just tell everybody, if you have a dream to do this, never give up, because your voice is unique and you can offer so much to whatever, or make your own stuff. I just don't give up on your dreams. If that's truly your dream, don't ever give up, because things will always come into place for you at the right time when they're supposed to. And that's what I felt like happened to me. Like, I wasn't expecting to work at Crunchyroll, and then all of a sudden, like, everything just lined up perfectly, and it just happened. And I was like, wow, I have been studying and I've been working hard, and I got my degree in performance art, and finally, I'm so grateful to be able to utilize my talent in this area, and to meet so many other talented people and hear their background and story, which is why I'm sure you love conducting these interviews, because you get to learn about everybody and where they came from, and their whole process is just fascinating and awesome. It's an awesome group of people too.
I love just getting to hear just a bit of your personal life, those types of it. Just hearing about you, many actors starting out in different jobs in the past before really breaking into acting.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be working at restaurants, whether it be somewhere where it's more hands-on, more what do you call it? I guess more blue-collar job, something that
Right.
you're trying to build up your savings, you're trying to invest in microphones, equipment, where you can do and learn voiceover as well as taking classes to better improve yourself, and then eventually land yourself some auditions or be able to be behind the booth when you eventually get called in for these titles. So I always love hearing that. I love hearing actors, how they have these different ways of building themselves up and then getting into the industry.
Absolutely. And, the community is just so supportive. Everybody, that I have come across in this community has been nothing but supportive and nothing but a helping hand.
Yeah, I've seen it too, especially with newcomers like yourself breaking into the industry, having the year of 2022 for yourself, as well as others, and then getting support from the veterans, especially the directors, highlighting your cast list that you're now part of so and so show and this other show that's coming out soon. It's just amazing just seeing how much time has passed, whether it be just 1 year just flying by, and then have a whole new year to look forward to. So it's always amazing seeing that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just I'm hoping to see what else will happen. And again, more shows coming out, new seasons coming out. So very excited for all of that to happen.
Me too.
And to kind of circle back to a show you really mentioned, and just so we can hear your thoughts on this one, what was it like working on The Fruit of Evolution?
Oh my gosh. Fruit of Evolution is so much fun. So when I first got called in, funny story, they said, hey, are you available to record The Fruit of Evolution episode 7? And I was like, episode 7, let's check it out. So I went and I watched, and all of Fruit of Evolution, it wasn't a simuldub for season 1, but it was all out in the Japanese. And so I watched episode 7, and it came up to the donkey, Lulane, and I was like, am I about to play a donkey right now? I think I'm about to play a donkey right now. And so I guessed, I was like, I think that's the role that I'm going to book, because it was a longer session. It was like, a few hours when I was used to only recording like 15 minutes, 30 minutes. It's a few hour session. I was like, oh, so this must be a pretty substantial role. So I guessed the donkey. I went in, and guess what? Lo and behold, it was the donkey. So I was super excited because, Helga, her voice set was, kind of like a little bit more calm. And so this donkey, I really got to get riled up and active in the booth. And that's one of I love getting active in the booth. I love it so much, just hand motions, just, and really, I must look insane, but as long as the performance gets through, like, cool. But so, yeah, so she is just a hoot. Like that first episode, she is a donkey that turns into a human. And then from that point forward, she is just in love with eating food. And I'm like, girl, nobody can relate more than me. I love food. So she is my spirit animal, Lulane. I love her so much. And everybody else in the cast is like so awesome. We got Jalitza Delgado, we got Corey Pettit, we have Mark Allen Jr., my master. Like I'm everybody else. Like I love them. And then Jonathan Rigg and Derek Benavides, our engineer, like they are awesome. So it's crazy because I recorded that show like almost a year ago, and now season 2 is coming out and it's a simuldub. So that's kind of really awesome that I was able to work on a show with the seasons 1 and 2 pretty close together. It was really cool. And so, yeah, I loved it. Oh, let me put my phone on silent here. I'm so sorry. Wow. Okay. There we go. Sorry. But yeah.
Oh, that's good. I'm a big fan of isekai animes. I enjoy the genres. Like every one of them is different from another, different stories, different paths. Like there's always something that will be different than other ones. I've had these same interviews with all your fellow colleagues where they're part of an isekai or isekais. Yes, there could be a lot of them, but once you watch them,
there's always something different about them. There's always different characters you can grow attached to. There's always different adventures, different type of conflicts, obstacles that come into the characters throughout the story. So always enjoying a show like this one here, seeing what's going to happen next and seeing, okay, what's going to be different about this isekai. And sure enough, you will find something different. So yeah, the Forever Evolution has that, and just going through these characters, what they're going through, and then just seeing them overcome these obstacles that come their way.
I love it. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm kind of going into this season blind, and it's kind of fun because when I enter the booth, I'm like, oh, here we go, you know. So I'm excited. Yeah.
It's always great to see second seasons. And I've said this in past interviews. It's great to see in the last few years now, a lot of animes have been getting second seasons, which if you look back 5, even like 10 years ago, and even as far back as 20, 30 years ago, getting a second season is almost like hard to come by. And even going as far as season 3s and after that is really rare. So we're in a different era in anime where new seasons are more promising than they ever were before.
Wow.
So yeah,
That's
just amazing.
great. I love that. That's exciting.
Yeah, and you know, it's great for fans that really liked these shows, and then like you might have seen the memes online where, hey, here's a new show you want to watch. Oh, great! There's no second season. It leaves and it
Yeah.
leaves off at a big cliffhanger at the end of season 1, or leaves off at a good note, but you know that there's more to the story. So
I
yeah.
hate that. I want it right now. Yeah, no, I totally.
So yeah, just like, very exciting with
Yes.
multiple seasons coming out. Even if it's like a year or two, it's better than waiting 10 years or 20
Oh
years
my
later.
gosh. Yeah. Oh, seriously.
So yeah, it's we're gonna have another good season that I can see coming forward.
Yay. Love it.
And speaking of a second season, here's one that you got to be part of. What was it like working on Shadow House season 2?
That was really, really fun. I got to play the nurse, Eve, Evelyn, and I worked with both Sean Gann and Marcus Simic on that one, and I got to record with both of them. My character was in, I think, maybe 3 episodes, but it was a lot of fun, and it was also very dramatic because you know, as this nurse, I'm shoving this syringe of you know to get the woman to regurgitate, and so it was just like very much, oh my gosh. Marcus was like, okay, so today we're gonna shove a syringe in somebody's mouth, and I was like, okay. No, but it was just a blast, and I that was the first show I got to work with Sean Gann, and so that was really, really fun for me. I still need to go back and watch. I need to watch the dub. I need to watch the Shadows House because I want to watch season 1 too, and I just haven't had the chance to do it. I want to watch them in order, but I need to do that. But it was really fun. It was fun.
I love the show, especially when the first season came, first episode. You see, you know, the cute main character played by Danny Chambers, and then her counterpart of the Shadow played by Emmy Lowe, I believe. And
Cool.
and just hearing Danny's voice and this cute little character, you feel all her emotions, like her happy emotions, her sad emotions. And then you get to slowly get introduced to the other characters, how they're all got their own personalities, but they all are regurgitating through their
the masters, and just seeing this world, like it's hard to there say this dark world, but just that human nature where all these shadow people, the way they carry themselves in that royal regal manner, and then see these other characters that are servants. They have their more common folk type of feel, and just seeing that world just go in a more deeper level, their way of thinking, and just seeing how far they take that aristocratic that lifestyle to a whole different level. So again, just another one of those shows where you see it and you can't help get drawn to it, get mesmerized by how this world operates and how these shell people live their daily lives and how they live with their servants and their in their own domain.
My goodness. Yeah, I need to get on that. I need to watch it. But you just made me want to watch it even more.
I just
have
love
to.
shows like these, like, and
Yeah.
anything about like just, and you can kind of feel kind of that worker employer type of feel, like especially nowadays how the common folk, the way they feel when they're working for someone higher than them, and the way they are treated, whether it be at a solo level or something really at a very higher severe level, where it's like, wow, like you can kind of feel some of that where you might think about your own daily life. How does your boss feel about you, or how is that higher upper management view you as worker slash servant? Whatever phrase you want to use, you kind of feel that at a human level. And so I think that makes the show even special, just having a bit of that human connection to these characters here.
Absolutely. Wow. I love that. That's we all know how that feels, so.
Yes, definitely. So yeah, great show, and I'm glad, I'm happy you got season 2 really quickly. So yeah, we'll see how far this goes.
How long did it take them to get a season 2?
Yeah, that was under a year, if I'm not mistaken.
Under a year? Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. That is really cool. When did season 1 come out?
I want to say 2021, if I'm mistaken.
Okay.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but if my memory serves me correct, it's that quick. Like, again, me as a fan, me just going through the library, the catalogs from whether it be Funimation, Crunchyroll, you'd be like, wow, like how quick another season just came out right off the bat.
Yeah.
Like, wow, I'm not used to this, because years ago this was almost uncommon.
Unheard
like
of,
this
yeah.
quick. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm glad it happened. It's like, again, we're in a different era when it comes to sequels and all that good jazz here.
That's good.
All right, and to kind of change the focus from this more darker natured show to something more lighthearted, here's one I'm sure you've enjoyed working on, and this is They Back Camp. What was like working on that show?
Oh, that was so much fun. I got to play a mom, which was just awesome. And so, yeah, I got to work with Jade and Morgan. I got to work with Morgan on the kitchen scene where, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on all the names right now. You have to forgive me. I had a super long weekend. But they're making what's the dish called? I can't, look at me. I can't even remember the name of the dish. It's a noodle dish, and we're all at the kitchen table, and hoto. I've never made hoto before, so this is kind of exciting. Like, yeah, no, that that was so much fun. And like, again, that character Shizuka, she was only in 2 episodes, but you know, I really have a feeling that that show's going to continue with the dub because it was so successful. It was so successful, and everybody in that cast is just awesome. It was funny because Morgan actually directed me on that Hoto episode, and she plays my daughter, so it was like, you know, it was just really, really cute. But yeah, so that everybody in that show I adore, and yeah, it was really fun to be a part of it. For the 2 little episodes that I was a part of, I had a blast.
I love the show. This one different in so many ways, especially the whole camping aspect and the setting, more of a mountain type of lifestyle, more of that kind of woodsy feel to it that you might see in some animes or get like a few slices in certain episodes or in certain shows. But this one was like a full package show where you got all of that. You got more of that home style life. You got to see these characters, how they will go camping in different areas near the region. And then when they come home, you get to see their families, the way they interact with families, just normal everyday life from these high school girls. No, nothing crazy, nothing over the top. It's just basic living and just enjoying that family life. And then when the weekends comes in, they choose to go camping with their friends, new experiences, learning these different mountains, learning different ways to camp, and just having that camaraderie that when you're camping, you're with your good friends, you're sharing hot meals together, you're sharing hot cocoa with each other, and you're enjoying the same environment. And then you're sleeping in the same tent with them. Again, more of that building of that friendship, that bond that camping is what you have in common. And you just, it's that friendship feel where you can feel like with your friends, like, well, like, I'll love just my friends. Like, the next time we have good weather, we have time, I want to go camp with my friends and have that same type of feel as the characters in this show.
I love it. I want to go camping too. I do. No, that's so special, and you know, that touches like a lot of people, and kind of reminds us to, hey, spend some time with the people that you love, and you know, with something that you have in common, you know.
And I just love it too, and just the fact that when they're learning with each other, they want to spend time with each other. Just something simple as camping, and as you watch this, you're like, wow, like just the most simplest concept there is, how you can spend time with your friends. And even if you may not be an expert in camping, you're learning together. You're learning how to cook with each other, how to set up camp, how to find a good spot, deciding, hey, let's try this mountain. It's got a nice view. Hey, there's a lodging area. There's hot baths. So, and I think this one is really, I think, hits hard with the female audience because it is mostly a female-oriented show. And so any females that are watching this show will be like, well, like, I want to be with my girls, like, I want to be with my crew. When just get the same feeling, enjoy the same comfort when it comes to camping, and then the small stuff, just eating. Like, you'd be so surprised that just good outdoorsy foods you guys eat, whether it be cooking or maybe you buy from the camping store that you take on the trip with. And then just, again, even the small stuff, roasting marshmallows on the campfire, and then just watching the stars. Those moments were there forever when you feel those type of experiences. So I think this one really hit home in so many ways for the audience, especially me as a guy. Like, I can see myself be with my buds, like, hey, next time we go outside, be nature boys out there, bring our axe, chopping some wood, campfire, cooking some good grub. And yeah, it's amazing just how laid back camp can bring in such a human level at this type of caliber.
I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I know there's another season coming out, and I did hear that there might be a season 3 in the works, as well as a movie. So
Wow.
I'm excited because I want to see what other parts of that region these characters are going to be camping at next, because you're getting like a taste on the land, the mountain ranges, the views, because every camp they go to, you get a different view. You get kind of a good experience off of that. So now you can't help us like, okay, what's the next place going to be like? How exciting is the next one going to be? So yeah.
I love that. That's so exciting.
Yeah, I'm hoping for it.
I have to catch up on that one too. I have too many to catch up on. And you're making me want to watch them all right now. I love how you're thank you for educating me. I appreciate it. I love your description and your,
I just love dissecting my animes.
I love it.
Educating both the voice actors I interview, as well as the audience members who are watching us right now, who can agree with me on many of these bullet points I presented. I just can't help but always pick something out from these shows, that there's always like a lesson to be learned, or there's stuff where you're kind of learning as well with the characters. So you can't feel but be at awe just seeing the transition from each episode to another. And then there's always like a good takeaway from each of these shows, each of these episodes. And I just love it. I just love how they back camp just laid everything out for us, no pun intended. But yeah, great show. For anyone who hasn't seen it, a very mellow show that anyone can watch at any age. So, and it's got some good comedic moments, and just seeing these high school girls, the way they interact, just like, I guess in a way like real life girls. Again, there's no explosions, no supernatural elements. It's just regular human beings, everyday life, just trying to enjoy their own lives as well as the camping life, and experiencing the outdoorsiness of these campsites.
I want to go camping now. I have my hiking boots on right now. I'm ready. I love it. Yeah.
From this show,
from
this show, I wish I could camp in Japan. Like, just being in the same sites that these characters were at, like just seeing Mount Fuji from that viewpoint, and just even though it's cold, you still enjoy that autumn feel, that winter feel, and trying to experience the food. Yeah.
That sounds so good.
I might do it one day if I ever go to Japan again for vacation.
I want to go so bad. You know who's going really soon is Lisette. She's going. Lisette Monique Diaz is going, and I think she leaves next week to Japan. Maybe we could just hop in her suitcases and go with her. I wish, huh?
That'd be good.
Someday.
Yes, someday. I mean, I've done once, but I want to go back again.
Oh my gosh!
And just revisit like the areas that these girls went to, and just absorb that outdoorsiness, those mountain views, same way that these characters did.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, I love it. I'm going to transition because we can talk about day back camp all day.
So to keep it going, now we're gonna revisit a show that has really spoken to you, meant a lot to you in your career. Now we can talk about Love After World Domination. What was it like working on that show?
So much fun, so much fun. Like I was saying earlier, it was my first role. I got to play a cat, which, man, that was just first role, kitty cat. Oh my gosh, in heaven. Like I was just so on top of the world. She was a mental character, which means, you know, like I said before, I didn't have to match flaps, and so that was really fun. And I loved working on that show, and that show is just so awesome. I have seen that show all the way through, and I love it. I love it so much. Oh my gosh. And the voice actors and everybody in that show is just so amazing. And it was an honor to be a small part of it, a small, funny, but also very important, because Helco's important. She's the cat of all cats. But yeah, no, I love the show. I loved the role. I loved working with Jade on that show. And yeah, just that was, I had no idea the world that I was entering into at that time. And so it's just, it is definitely a very special, it will always be a very special nostalgic role for me. And I'm really looking forward to hopefully that one getting a season 2, because I'm just looking forward to seeing where it goes from this point.
When it comes to a voice actor's first ever role or first ever anime, that one will always like sit with you for the rest of your career, just learning the ropes again, just being part of this show, rather be just playing a cat. From all past interviews I've had with other voice actors, how whenever they tap out their very first show, it means a lot to them. What got them started, what got the ball rolling towards other shows afterwards. And then when time goes by, whether it be another year, 5 years, 10 years, or 20 years later, you know, they can still finally look back on the very first show and it's like, wow, like, look how far they've been from the first show ever. And now they're in like one of the big shows right now, or they've done so many big shows since then. So you getting your first ever experience, it's just something that's going to really speak to you from here on out.
Absolutely. Yeah. And yeah, she'll always be my first one. Yeah. Cutie. Such a little cutie. And it's so funny because my cat, I don't know if he's around right now, but he actually Helco actually has an M stripe like this, which is funny because my name's Monét, and I was like, oh, it's meant to be because he has like this M stripe, but like my cat has like this kind of V stripe right here, and I was like, and he's orange and white, and I was like, it's kismet, it's meant to be. So yeah, no, I'm so grateful. And you know, I have worked on my voice for a very, very long time. And so I was just very grateful for the opportunity. You know, like I've studied vocal, you know, taken vocal lessons, you know, studied with a working professional, you know, for a very long time. And so, yeah, no, this will always be, like you said, just very special, and, you know, just very special to me. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I love you mentioned the M on your character's forehead. Like, I just love the coincidence behind that.
Yeah.
Just the odds of that happening is just
I know.
like, yeah, just the chance of that happening.
I know.
And of course, we love cats. You know, we like their chunkiness. We you know, we've owned cats ourselves. I saw yours just jump on your bed not too long ago.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I think they They disappeared somewhere on your bed, somewhere.
Oh yeah, he's sleeping over there. I see him.
Good chunker.
He just jumped right here, right here.
Oh no, past you like
Oh,
10 minutes ago or something.
oh, that's so funny.
Then the interview, so yeah.
Oh, good. Yay. Of course. He has to be the star of everything. You know.
All right. So here's another show that you and your colleagues really love. And this one is The Great Jahy Will Not Be Defeated. What's like working on that show?
Oh my gosh, where to begin? Oh my gosh. Druge, this was another show, kind of like Fruit of Evolution, where it wasn't a simuldub. And so the first show, the Love After World Domination, actually was a simuldub. So and then Fruit of Evolution was the first one that I worked on that was not. And so, you know, I was so excited to hear that The Great Jahy was not a simuldub, because I was able to watch the series, the whole series, before I went and recorded. And I kind of just watched it and then tried to, I binge watched it. I binged the heck out of it. Like, I watched it in like 2 days. And then I was like, okay, I have a grasp of who this character Druge is. And now I can begin to, you know, I can go into the studio and kind of know a little bit more about her than, you know, just what I had read online. And because I try to do some good research on these characters before I step into the booth. I'll look them up online. I'll read a little bit of their history, you know, whether they're in the, you know, the manga description, you know, stuff like that. So with Miss Druge, she just melted my heart. Because she's so freaking smart and successful, but then her happiness and deepest desires come from being punished by the Great Jahy. And so, you know, we love her. We love her so much. And, you know, I think vocally she has been my most challenging character so far. Not so much as like the higher register stuff, but the fact that I had to scream and like hit my head, because she punishes her. We all know she punishes herself. She hits herself like on her head on the table, like as hard as she can. And so really getting those screams out and like using the body language with the screams were like, I was like, okay, I'm not talking. Druge loves being punished, and then when she basically loves being punished by the Great Jahy, gets the greatest joy. That is her top desire, and her, you know, she does everything for Jahy. Ugh, it breaks my heart. But then, you know, as a voice actor, it was very challenging for me to emit some of the vocal screams, I guess, you know, that she lets out, because, and I would have to drink lots of tea. I would be, you know, using my magic serum and my honey, and like then just like let loose. And after those sessions, I was like, oh, I need a bath, and a bubble bath, because it was so much fun, but it felt like I had done a full workout. But man, I mean, there's just so much that I could say about Druge, and just that whole show. I love that whole show. And just the, you know, Druge's, I want to know more about Druge and her powers, and kind of, you know, I've kind of made up some of my own backstory, but I would love to read all of the manga. Like a coworker, so I work at Medieval Times too, and so when I'm not voice acting, I do theater and fly falcons and ride horses and act in the show, and, you know, help direct, assistant direct. And so one of my coworkers, his wife is from Japan, and she went and she got me, I actually have it right here. She got me my first ever manga, and it's the Great Jahy. This is volume 1. But I have a lot of catching up to do. But just getting to know Druge in both of her forms, like, you know, her demon form and then the Dojima Corporation form, and the way that she conducts and handles business. Like, she's delusional at times, but also just super amazing and smart and like just unreal. It was such an honor to explore her and play her and bring her to life in the English dub, like, and then also work closely with the other actors in the show. They're just all so super talented, and yeah, it was just a lot of fun. And I miss her a lot. I miss her so much.
And I remember talking to the set about the show. When I first heard about the Great Jahy, when I first decided to watch it, I did not know if it was ever going to get an English dub. Saw the first episode too, and then when I heard there was going to be an English dub, I'm like, okay, so I can stop before I get any further with the show. I'll just rewatch again from the first episode in English and then carry on forward. So I can tell like this one was going to be a special show if it did get an English adaptation. And sure enough, it did. You got to be part of it with your great colleagues that have loved the show for what it was, for seeing the misadventures of Jahy, getting into these hijinks and all these crazy moments throughout the show. It's very special just seeing, you know, all these characters where they interact and everything coming together. So it's a very fun comedic show, just kicking back and watching each episode unfold.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, it was, you know, a very female driven show, which always love to see. And yeah, no, just each episode brought its own adventure, and that's what made it so great.
And you said, well, it's a female-oriented show. All the characters mostly female, with some male characters here and there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just amazing just seeing more of that female camaraderie. These characters have their own different personalities, they're kind of funny in their own way.
Quirky.
But yes, quirky. But they come together, you know, for Jahy, just learning life in the human world, learning what friendship can mean for a demon girl like herself.
Yeah.
And just seeing everything, like these special moments, how she will bond with these different characters for, you know, different places or different reasons. And it's special to the female audience watching this show too, that no matter how different you are, no matter what your background is, there's always that female companionship that comes together, that grows strong each and every day. So I think that was a kind of a great lesson that the Great Jahy can showcase to its audience members, just seeing that no matter how dominant she feels, no matter that she came from the demon world, she can still have these humans as friends and almost as family to her. Just how much they care for her, and how much she cares for them back. So it's just a great rudimental moment seeing each of these episodes lay out those bonds.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, beautifully put. That is exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And again,
I will say that, you know, toward the end there, I loved the magical girl story. Her and Jahy's relationship. I love her and landlord's relationship. I love all of the relationships. Kokoro, boss, you know, everybody that she and Sarva, like, yeah, but the magical girl Druge dynamic was so much fun. And working with Brittany, that was such a treat. Such a treat. So, but yeah, no, and man, that last scene with the fireworks, it's like, but I love how she's like, I feel like I'm forgetting something, you know. I'm just like, oh, please, season 2, please. Yeah.
definitely could get some season 2, see where the story goes for both Jahy and for all the characters.
Yeah.
Druge, it's just amazing seeing her quickly adapt to the human world, seeing her just use what she has to her advantage and just create her own empire in the human world. So it's just amazing just seeing how a character like Druge can make use of her own talents and just kind of show it to Jahy that in one world this is what she is, but in a different world she is much more bigger and more has a higher magnitude to what her talents and capabilities are. So again, another great example of how different each character is, how the personalities differ, and what they bring to the show in terms of what the characters, the way they interact with each other. And again, just enjoying how Druge brings out this to this entire anime.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So yeah, let's hope for a season 2, maybe more seasons down the road. See how this whole story is going to end, unless they do stop at season 2 and then the rest of the manga. But definitely a great show. Very, I want to say probably most ages can watch the show. Just enjoy the funny quirkiness.
Yeah.
And again, great for female audiences to watch and relate to. Just and just seeing that friendship blossom over time. So again, there's just so much that we can say to convince our viewers to go on Crunchyroll right now and watch Great Jahy.
Yes, go.
So yeah, if you haven't, people, then go right now. Just type in Crunchyroll, get a subscription, and watch English dub there, and see what we're talking about when it comes to this amazing show, how quirky it is, and just how fun-loving it can be.
Yes.
So, transitioning from the Great Jahy to another Crunchyroll show that just recently came out during the time of this interview. A new one that's now on the library is the Iceblade Sorcerer shall rule the world. What was it like working on that show?
Well, I'm just in the middle of working on this show, and let me tell you, I've been blessed to play such amazing, quirky, fun characters, and this one I'm really excited about because she's a great part of the story, and I'm so honored to play her and see. I mean, wow. There's new episodes are coming out every week, and I believe it is. So episode 3 has not released yet in the English dub, but we have finished recording it, and it's the first time you really see my character in her entirety. We see a flashback scene in episode 2 of Ray kind of talking to her because he is meeting friends at his new school, and but he knows that he is the Iceblade Sorcerer. Oh no, spoiler! Did I just spoiler? Spoiler! Sorry. For people who haven't even started watching the show, I am so sorry. Anyway, so yeah, he flashes back to her, and you know, she's his master, and so I don't know. I'm still learning about Lydia. I've read about her, but as the episodes continue to come out, I'm learning more and more about her, and the more and more I'm just like, wow, I am so stoked to dive in. Yeah, she's a badass. She really is.
I always enjoy these type of shows that take place in a school, whether it be a regular human school, a magical academy, or any of that nature, especially this one being a magical school, but one that's more focused on the class system from nobility to common folk,
Yeah.
whatever ranking you want to put in. I just always like seeing, okay, what's going to be the dynamic this time? What are we going to see these characters who are going to interact with each other? Again, there's plenty of shows like this, like with these similar genres, similar settings, but this one here, there's a story to tell about this particular character with a main character coming across all these other students, the way they perceive him and the way he perceives all of them. And just, again, just going out through the first 2 episodes, you kind of getting like a feel for it. And I'm sure as we get into the next 10 episodes, or however long it's going to go, we'll get more meat of the matter once we see development, once we see the direction it goes for. And again, just covering the whole magic aspect, seeing how far magic can be taken in this anime.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's always the dark side too, you know, they're trying to, yeah. I don't want to give any more spoilers, but yeah, I'm super stoked to watch this show and its development and to be a part of it for sure. A lot of my friends that I tell, I'm like, hey, you should check out this show. This is, you know, they see I made a cast role announcement, and so they check out the show and they're like, it's kind of like Harry Potter. I'm like, yeah, kinda. But yeah, so I enjoy this kind of environment as well, and yeah, I'm really, I don't want to give any more spoilers, but I'm really excited.
Well, same here. You know, I always like seeing these male protagonists, see what they're about. Okay, see what's different than the vast 100 male characters that me as a male audience member have seen. What makes this guy different? What makes him tick? What is his strength and weaknesses? What's his mindset like? How does he carry himself? Everything just comes into factor when it comes to identifying your main character. Again, whether it be male, whether it be female, or anything of that sort, you want to invest your time and go through the journey of these characters and see where it take you, what adventures lays out, and see what obstacles they're going to come across as each episode transpires. So again, very exciting seeing these episodes drop every week or so and seeing, okay, what's next on the agenda? What's going to happen next? Just keeping the audience excited and anticipating for the next few episodes or so.
Yeah. I 100% agree.
So we'll see. Then hopefully, if we ever do touch back on this show, we'll probably have way more substance and peel back more of theirs, and then see how deep the story's gonna be. Maybe and just maybe this might also get a another season or so, depending on how much story there is to everything here.
Yeah. I have high hopes. I think it's gonna just continue to develop. That's my hope. I think I'm a little biased maybe because I'm part of the show, but like, I'm intrigued.
Same here, and I think there's just a lot of layers to peel back, and just seeing how this show is going to tell its story from the fullest, from beginning, middle, end, and see if this one might need a second season or if it's going to sign off on a good note. So we'll see where it all goes towards the end.
We'll see.
All right. Now it's time for the funny question I like to ask everyone.
Okay.
So here we go. If you could be any character you have played in real life, who will you be? And you can mix and match.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So that's good. I'm glad I can mix and match because I can't just choose one. Definitely. Okay. So if I could choose parts of each character, right? Okay. So with Druge, I would definitely take her success in the human world because that's where I am. I'm in the human realm. And so I wish I had her heart control power so that I could be as successful as her. And then Lulane, the fact that she can just eat whatever she wants and not gain any weight. I would take that. And just to be able to have her strength, her kicks, and then I would definitely take Lydia's from Iceblade Sorcerer, her wisdom and her knowledge, her brain, because she's very, 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 very smart. And then, throw in a little. I'm combining every character. I want the sass of Helco. I want the sass and just I'm when I need to set boundaries or something, just the queen of the world attitude, that Helco has. And then Eve Evelyn, I want their nursing knowledge. I want to be able to help people, and then am I forgetting anybody? And then just the warm and loving nature that Shizuka has. She's just so lovely. And I found out that her name actually means flower. So it's really, just that warm nature that she has. So, okay, I combined everybody. I combined everybody together. But that would be a great person, right? That would be like a great person.
Yeah, you've mixed business, magical knowledge, the kindness, and then the fighting prowess of all your characters. So I think it's a very interesting mix, just pulling all these characters together. So
yeah, but none of their bad qualities, just their good qualities.
yeah, that's you. Yeah, you've got a very top S tier character right there, just all around with everything. So yeah, just great combination, and it's always fun just to hear actors just bring all this stuff together.
I didn't even think as far as looks wise go. I just went personality, but as far as like looks wise go, like I don't know. I want Druge's hair. I love her hair so much. That mint green, just like, and her eyeballs. Like I love her eyes. I would probably want to look like Druge.
I mean, she fits well as a CEO type of executive business person. So if you're going for business, you got the look, the knowledge, as well as everything else. So yeah, well, I mean, she really has magic, but you just boost it up with your other characters you mentioned, as well as balancing the motherly charm of Shizuka and Aaron else to kind of like balance things out nicely. Yes. So yeah, just great combination right there. All right. Here's another question. Now, is there anything coming out that you can't talk about, or anything out right now that you want to plug in at this time?
Okay, so I actually am going to be a guest at a convention for the first time ever. It's in July and it's at BACon. And so I'm really, really excited about that. It's July 1st through 2nd. So if you're in Houston, come on out. I would love to meet you. I'm having an artist work on some really awesome artwork that I cannot wait to release of some of my characters, and so I'm really, really excited about it. He is just knocking it out of the park. He's taking his time on it, which I really appreciate, and this will be his first anime project that he's worked on for anime art. So he's an amazing muralist in Dallas, Texas. His name is IZK Art. He goes by Isaac, but he's awesome. And so, yeah, so that July 1st, 2nd, and then I have a few other conventions in the works. So I will be posting on Twitter and Instagram for when those will be. But I'm really excited to visit my first convention and meet people. I'm really excited to meet more people, because everybody in the anime world has just been so open armed, and just like has embraced me right in. And although I don't have a lot of knowledge in the anime world, like I enjoy learning, and I can't wait to know more and learn more and experience more and watch more things. And yeah. And then I'm also Iceblade Sorcerer comes out on Thursdays, so watch out for those. And then Fruit of Evolution, I believe, is Saturdays at this point. So Thursdays, Saturdays, Iceblade Sorcerer, Fruit of Evolution, check those out. And also just give me a follow on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. I'm posting on there usually once a week right now, but I promise I'm gonna get better. I've just been so busy. I've just been, life has happened, and I take on a lot of projects at once. So yeah, but I always respond to everybody. So come and give me a follow. Twitter is MONET_LERNER. Instagram is just MONETLERNER. My name, Monét Lerner. And then TikTok, same thing, just Monét Lerner spelled out like that. So come give me a follow. And yeah, all of my other appearance dates for 2023, we'll see. I'll be releasing to you guys via social media. And hopefully, like, I'll come somewhere near y'all so I can meet y'all, because I can't wait. Yeah. And that's what I'm really looking forward to, is meeting all y'all like in person, because we're on Twitter all the time, and it's just like giving the little hearts, retweeting. I'm like, it's so nice to see you in this virtual world, because we've been Twitter friends for a while now, and it's so nice. I love this world, and so I'm so excited to be a small part of it now.
Yeah, I'm happy that you get some conventions happening very soon. And yeah, great social medias you got right there for fans to contact you at. So yeah.
And then also just, I'm so sorry, one more thing. So if y'all ever want to do a virtual meetup, you can find me on Color World Live. And there, I have hangouts available. So if y'all ever want to just like hop on virtually and hang out, we have a good time. Yeah, so Color World Live. Come hang out with me.
Well, Monét, thank you for your time for this lovely interview. I appreciate having you here, talking about all these amazing shows, and just hearing your thoughts about both the animes you worked on and the community that you're part of now. So it's always a pleasure just getting to hear about your experiences. So thank you, Monét, for your time here in this interview. I really appreciate that.
Of course, and thank you. I am so appreciative of your time, and thank you for asking me to be a part of this. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. Can't thank you enough for making the time and making the schedule happen. So I myself appreciate it, and the Ohio Guys channel appreciates as well having another amazing newcomer be part of the interview catalog and just hearing your experiences both in life, in your career, and just everything about that has brought you to this point. So thank you, Monét Lerner, for everything you've done here today.
Well, thank you, Christian. Thank you. All right.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Yeah, bye everyone. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next video. So take care, everyone. Bye now.